thing: connection, intimacy, partnership, but often they don't. And today, I'm going to explain what many narcissists are really seeking, why this creates so much confusion, and how understanding this can help you finally stop blaming yourself for what happened. So stay with me, because this realization changed everything for me. So my friends, when you think about love, we usually think about mutual care. We think about two people seeing each other, supporting each other, growing together. Love requires empathy. It requires respect, accountability, vulnerability. Love means sometimes putting another person's needs alongside your own. But narcissism operates from a completely different framework. The narcissist isn't entering the relationship asking, how can we build something together? Instead, they're often unconsciously asking, what can this person do for me? Now, before anyone gets upset, not every narcissistic person behaves identically. There are patterns. And one of the biggest patterns is that relationships become transactional. People become resources, not partners, resources. The relationship exists because it basically serves a function. And once you understand this, so many confusing behaviors suddenly make sense. Think back to the beginning, my friends. Think back to the beginning. The love bombing, the intensity, the future promises, the feeling that you finally met someone who understood you completely. It felt magical, it felt desired. But ask yourself this question: how much did they actually know about you? How much were they actually reflecting back what they believed you wanted to hear? And many survivors later realize that the narcissist wasn't deeply connected to who they actually were. They were studying them. They were learning their vulnerabilities, their dreams, their wounds, their insecurities, their desires. Not necessarily to love them, but to gain influence over them, to become indispensable, to create attachment, to secure access. But what they wanted wasn't intimacy. What they wanted was something else. Validation, attention, control, power, admiration, emotional supply. And you see, this is what many experts refer to as narcissistic supply. The emotional fuel that maintains the narcissist's fragile sense of self. Without it, many narcissists feel empty. They feel worthless, invisible. So deep beneath the grandiosity often sits profound insecurity. But instead of developing genuine self-worth, they seek constant external confirmation. You matter, you're special, you're important, you're attractive, you're right, you're this, you're that. So the problem is, no amount of external validation is ever going to be enough for this person. They are always going to want more. They are always going to be seeking more. So you can't satisfy this need. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. So the reassurance disappears and they need more and more and more. Oh my God, this is giving me a headache. Like, they need more. Okay, and this is why so many of you feel exhausted, because you can't make this up. You can't make this any better. Because people like me and you, we've spent years trying to pour love into someone who could never seem satisfied. No matter how much you gave, it wasn't enough. No matter how much you sacrificed, they wanted more. And no matter how much you proved your loyalty, they still questioned you. Because the issue was never your ability to love. The issue was their inability to receive healthy love in a healthy way. And that's a really important distinction. And I talk about this a lot, my friends. This is the attachment disorder. And this is one that so many survivors miss. You aren't failing. You're trying to solve a problem that wasn't yours to solve. So one of the biggest misconceptions is that narcissists want love. They want the same thing that you do. But many don't. They want to feel what it feels like. Many do want what they believe love should feel like, but they often struggle with that bit.